This is part 2 of The Mysteries of History Revealed, Dinosaurs to Extraterrestrials by Jeremy Auldaney. Page 9, starting at the second heading, titled, Most sedimentary rock strata show no erosional features. Even the surfaces between different strata, like Cretaceous, are laid down on the top of Permian, which is considered to be millions of years older. There are no large erosional features like we see today. Sometimes two layers, assumed to be separated by millions of years of missing strata, are called paraconformities, which means they show no sign of having been a surface for millions of years. They appear to be one continuous deposition. These breaks for millions of years are assumptions based only on theory. This fact proves these two layers were in fact continuous depositions during one continuous catastrophic event. The Grand Canyon has many paraconformities, as well as most other exposures of the fossil record are commonly deposited as flat layers on top of each other with little uneven erosional features. William R. Corliss, a collector and cartographer and writer on scientific anomalies, wrote the following regarding paraconformities in his book Unknown Earth, Glenarm, Maryland, The Sourcebook Project, 1980, page 219. Quote, potentially more important to geological thinking are those unconformities that signal large chunks of geological history are missing. Even though the strata on each side of the unconformity are perfectly parallel and show no discernible effects, a possible though controversial inference is that our geological clocks and stratigraphic concepts need working on. End quote. A more logical conclusion is that these rock formations, which are deposits known to have been carried by water and or mud flows from other biological environments which produce different assemblages of fossils when the current changes direction. Evidence does not support the belief that these animals and plants are buried where they lived during different periods of history on the same spot where they are found today as fossils. Fossil tracks require rapid deposition. Fossil tracks are not found in every level of sedimentary layer. They are always found on unconformities. Temporary surfaces, often covered and protected by water, deposited loose sand or volcanic ash. They are usually flat layers, and even tracks on cross-bedded sandstone never contain larger erosional surfaces. The tracks could be hot volcanic mud flows of natural mud that hardens like cement. Sometimes these surfaces are eroded by flowing water, creating ripples and mud cracks. These same surfaces with dinosaur trackways and their covering soft sediment are in turn covered by other hard rock layers of sandstone, mudstone, or limestone deposited on top. Some of these fossil tracks are often pristine, just as if they had been made today. And today we know that modern tracks get erased in a very short time, and there would be a lot more of them if they were exposed for a very long time. Also, we do not see tracks being preserved like those found in the fossil strata today. Most fossil tracks cover hundreds of square miles in the fossil record and are often associated with the bones of petrified animals above them. I myself found fossilized wood from trees, as well as shellfish, reptile teeth, and dinosaur bones above the Dilophosaur tracks near Tuba City, Arizona. Hundreds of feet of rock, mudstone, and limestone layers above the flat, limey, friable sandstone track layer were mixed with volcanic ash, especially the layers directly on top of the dinosaur tracks, which was almost pure ash in rainbow colors. This is how the common outcrops of the Jurassic Morrison Formation appear as rainbow colors of light green, yellow, red mudstone colored by iron in the volcanic ash. Fossilized dinosaur bones and wood are petrified by impregnation by volcanic silicon, quartz, natural volcanic glass, which is common in this layer of the Jurassic Morrison Formation. I have stated before that my many observations confirm that if there is no volcanic minerals, there are no fossils, except the non-petrified fossils in the post-flood Pleistocene. I cannot remember seeing a petrified permineralized Cenozoic fossil. The closest thing to petrification in the Cenozoic are the Oligocene mammal bones in the Badlands of South Dakota, which are buried in pink rhyolitic ash, but they are not petrified like the dinosaur bones in the Mesozoic, probably because they were buried on land under ash falls, unlike the water-deposited dinosaur bones in sediment mixed with ash during the Noachian flood. Yellowstone. The road markers describing the formation of volcanically petrified trees at Specimen Ridge in Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming, have been changed. The new markers describe a rapid burial and petrification of the trees that is more compatible with a young age of planet Earth. The change was prompted by evidence from the Mount St. Helens eruption. Some researchers think that an asteroid might have struck the Earth, forming the caldera that became Yellowstone. Yellowstone is a huge volcano. This volcanic field has recently become much more active, causing all the geysers to erupt water and steam all the time, which is unusual. They used to erupt at times and then there would be a rest period, but now they're erupting continuously, and many geologists expect that there's a possibility of a gigantic eruption. Continuing, the heat has melted the asphalt in the roads in the park. Scientists believe it will erupt in a huge volcanic upheaval. Arizona's petrified forest. The official website of Arizona Petrified National Park is at nps.gov. There they state, quote, Petrified Forest has two geological formations, the late Triassic Chinle Formation and the Miocene-Pliocene Betahochi Formation. Many ancient environments are represented within these layers. The colorful mudstones and clays of the Painted Desert Badlands are composed of bentonite, a product of altered volcanic ash. End quote. This is odd because this late Triassic Chinle Formation in the petrified forest strata goes all the way to Tuba City, where it is found on top of the younger Jurassic Kayenta Formation. It left Triassic petrified wood on top of the younger Jurassic dinosaur tracks when the overlying layer erodes. I discovered this myself while doing field research there on the tracks for the Creation Research Society. This Chinle Formation also has small dinosaur bones and teeth in it, as well as Dilophosaur bones, as well as Phytosaur, a crocodilian. Phytosaur is the index fossil for the Triassic and should not be found with Jurassic Dilophosaur bones. Both tracks and skeletons of Phytosaur have been found in this Tuba City area in the Chinle at Cameron. As for the Miocene-Pliocene, which is found in the petrified forest on top of the Jurassic-Triassic, they are about 203 million years younger, according to evolution, than the Jurassic, without canyons eroded into it like the one seen today in the Moenkopi Wash. Triassic is dated about 208 million years ago, and Pliocene about 5 million. Where is the enormous unconformity's erosional surface? This is confirmation that all petrified fossil sites are catastrophic volcanic events worldwide, because most dinosaur sites, as well as many mammal sites, are made of bentonite. They usually forget to mention that bentonite is ash altered by being mixed with sedimentary water. KT boundary impact produced volcanic eruptions. Secular scientists ruled out their previous belief that the KT boundary was caused by a worldwide volcanic upheaval, but rather an asteroid impact. They are wrong. The fact is that it was not the asteroid impact that caused the extinction of the animals. It was only the trigger, according to the Bible and observations of the fossil and geologic record. There was a lot of speculation on why some animals survived and others did not for many decades since Darwin. Till now, most evolutionary paleontologists had given up trying to identify the cause of extinctions. They had dozens of theories, including ridiculous ones like the dinosaurs died of diarrhea, or they died of swallowing gastroliths, which are rocks like chickens that grinds up their food in their stomach, or eating newly evolved poison plants, or flowers giving off pollen, then thin eggshells, evolving new mammals, etc. When man wants to believe something desperately enough, he will make up the most ridiculous ad hoc speculations. Man examines and attacks symptoms rather than the cause that is in plain sight. This happens in the medical field, in politics, and in science. Here are quotes from Schulit, P., Algaret L., Ornelas, Ars, Barton, Brown, Braylower, Christensen, 5th of March 2010, the Chicxulub asteroid impact and mass extinction at Cretaceous Paleogene boundary. Science Magazine 327, 5970, 1214, 12 to 1218. Those are the pages. Bib code 210 Science 327.1214S, DOI 10.1126 Science.1177265, PMID 2020-3042. And another reference, Keller G 2012, the Cretaceous Tertiary Mass Extinction, Chicxulub Impact, and Deccan Volcanism, Earth and Life, Springer, pages 759 to 793. Quote, the fact that the extinctions occurred at the same time as the impact provides strong evidence that the KPG extinction was caused by the asteroid. That was from reference 1. However, some scientists continue to argue that other factors, such as volcanic eruptions, which comes from reference 2, Keller, climate change and or sea level change caused or at least contributed to the extinction. End quote. These scientists are right. It was not the impact that killed the dinosaurs or the darkened skies, but the massive worldwide volcanic eruptions with choking fine silicon dust and gases, followed by the release of subterranean waters flooding the earth, causing the oceans to rise, that killed the dinosaurs. Of course, this was followed by a sudden permanent changes in the weather and loss of plants and animals in the food chain. Geologists and paleontologists have argued whether the iridium came from an asteroid or from volcanic eruptions. I have said all along that it came from both sources. What would cause worldwide massive eruptions? The only cause we know of is asteroid impacts. Of course, there are ad hoc theories that the center of the Earth heated up through some atomic chain reaction, or there is no evidence to support this, but what would trigger it? Dinosaur and other extinctions, geologic evidence. Most evolutionists, both atheistic and theistic, atheist and spiritualist researchers, overlook the obvious. Most fossils are found in volcanic ash, replaced or preserved by volcanic silicon by hot groundwater. I first learned this when I was at the Calico Early Man site, when we visited the Pleistocene Lake Mannix bed, where gray volcanic ash from basaltic eruptions had buried Pleistocene mammals and human stone artifacts. This site is identical to the site in Africa at Auldaney Gorge, where British Louis Seymour Bazet Leakey and his son Richard and American Donald Carl Johansen, paleoanthropologist, found their assumed humanoid ape fossils. However, many creationists still believe this was deposited during the flood of Noah, which of course is incorrect. These creationists are confused about Pleistocene mammal fossils. They think Pleistocene mammals are part of the evidence for Noah's flood. They are not. Pleistocene mammal fossils were buried after the flood during the Tower of Babel incident in Genesis, in Peleg's day, when God scattered people throughout the earth by changing their language and then separating the continents so that they would not get together to create the same world government that brought about the need to destroy the earth before the flood. The continents were cracked and continued to move, and the oceans rose after the flood, covering the dry land on the continental shelves. These Pleistocene fossil deposits include the mammoth fossils frozen in Siberia and Alaska, and found in the asphalt seeps in Los Angeles, and in caves, bogs, volcanic ash, and mudstone. It is worldwide, but the fossilization and surrounding mudstone are different from the flood deposits, and they contain only modern animals with humans and are not in solid rock. I absolutely proved this in my technical paper published as Auldaney, Jeremy, 1994, Catastrophic Fluvial Deposition at the Asphalt Seeps of Rancho La Brea, California, in Walsh, R.E., editor, Proceedings of the Third International Conference on Creationism, Technical Symposium, Sessions, pages 25 to 35, Creation Science Fellowship of Pittsburgh. These same animals are not only found in the asphalt at the pits, they are found all over Los Angeles and Orange counties, the Mojave Desert, and many other places worldwide. Even the volcanic ash is different. The flood deposits contain dinosaurs and are commonly made of rhyolitic, rainbow-colored ash, while the post-flood deposits contain no dinosaurs and are rarely in volcanic ash, and when they are, it is a gray tan basalt. The rhyolite contains more water and silicon from the water chambers inside the earth, producing water fountains of the deep. The post-flood ash has more iron and comes from deep in the earth, as the cracks went deeper into the earth. One exception is the Oligocene beds in South Dakota are pink rhyolite. I made discoveries here, discussed later in this book. I will continue this in the next tape. This is number 2, then it will be number 3 will be coming up next.